All right, now that we've seen the workspace in Adobe Bridge, we're going to actually get to work with some photos. Earlier in the video series, I had you download some things from Bridge. I'm sorry, from Blacktop. Too many things going on here. From Blacktop. So in Learning Plan 1, there is a subfolder called LP1 Resources, and that is where I showed you earlier to get some of these files. So in LP1 Resources, I asked you to download two of the files, Pictures for Bridge and Chapter 1 images or photos. So this is the link to the website where you can get them, and just in case you didn't, I have the Chapter 1 files ready and this other one. So you should have already done this. If you didn't, I'm just going to walk you through it again. I'm clicking on Chapter 1 book files, and slowly but surely we get a download starting. And if you're on a Mac, it's showing me right here. It's only 4.7 megs, and I'm at home recording this right now. I live in the country, and I can't even tell you how slow my internet is. This should really only take a few seconds most anywhere else, and in the past it's been much faster for me, so I'm a little worried that everyone in my house is on Netflix or something right now, torturing me. So at any rate, we need to download the Chapter 1 files, and then we also need to download the folder I called Pics for Bridge exercise. So you should have already done that, but I'm going through the process again, and I will show you what we're going to do next. All right, so you can see at the bottom of my Mac, these two documents have downloaded, and they are in my download folder. A Mac, you have a Finder, which is just like my computer is in a PC environment, and I can see that I have them here. So Pictures for Bridge, I'm going to double click on that, and that is going to unzip it and put it in a folder. And in order to actually work with these photos, you must unzip. You can't access them straight from the zip file. I'm going to do the same for Chapter 1. I'm going to double click on it, and that's going to unzip it. On a PC, you have to do something very similar wherever you find it in your download folder. When you click on the zip file, at the top of your bar, there's going to be a button that says unzip or unpackage or something like that. You need to click that to get it to unzip. So, long story short, I have the two folders that we need located in my downloads folder. And we are going to now go back into Bridge itself. So, I know they're in my downloads folder. So over here I'm going to find downloads, and there's a few views that I want to make you aware of. I'm actually going to make this window panel a little bit bigger, and by doing so I'm going to show you some easier ways of sorting. So if you make this panel wider, at the bottom you're going to see some icons. The thumbnail grid, or contents and details looks like this, or a list view. If you go into list view, you see at the top that you can sort these by the dates that they were created. So that may be helpful for you to find them. What I'm seeing right now is here's the folder called Pics for Bridge. That's something that we're going to be using, and since I want it easily accessible, I'm actually going to drag it over to this favorite panel over here. I mentioned that earlier. So we have a favorite. These are like your most used areas. I'm going to take Pics for Bridge, and I'm going to drag it over and let go. And there it is. So this is just really a shortcut. It didn't actually move from where it was. It's just a nice shortcut. So that's one of them. And unfortunately, the other folder, the Chapter 1 images, Chapter 1 files, I've worked with that so many times that it's probably buried in here somewhere. You guys are probably going to see it at the top of your list because you don't have this many different things in here. And eventually I'm going to find it. This is when I wish they had a little search bar down here for the Chapter 1. There it is, way down here. 2012 evidently. So I'm going to take the chapter 1 folder and I'm also going to drag this into my favorites window. Now life is much easier. Now no matter where I am, if I'm on my desktop and I'm seeing all of my desktop items, I can always get to those 2 saved folders even faster. If for any reason I wanted to delete something from here, I can select it so that it turns gray and then right click and you have an option to remove it from the favorites or to show where it is in the Finder. So that's a way of bringing often used folders into your favorites window so it's much easier. Before we go on, I'm going to switch back to the grid view, viewing things as thumbnails because that's much easier. So showing you the chapter 1 files as thumbnails is important. There's also this slider at the very bottom that makes your thumbnails bigger and smaller. And then, like I mentioned, I like to have this window be fairly narrow with bigger thumbnails, however. That's a little too big. And I like to have as much room as possible over here in the preview window so that I'm seeing the biggest version possible when I'm doing this. So I like to have them, you can do whatever works for you, but I like to have a small thumbnail too wide over here in my content area because I can actually see it. I know what I'm going to get when I click on this, but then by making my preview window bigger, I have the biggest view of it possible, and that's very helpful. These are all smaller web resolution photos, so you notice they're not like filling the whole screen. They're actually showing at 100% of their size. So that is something I want you to do, is get your pictures for Bridge and your chapter 1 photos lined up, and then let's open the folder called Pics for Bridge. This is what I'm going to use to demo Adobe Bridge for you now. When it's time to do your homework, you are going to work through the directions in your textbook, and if you follow them all and do them exactly as it explains in the textbook, when you do switch over to your workbook for this week's homework, the workbook for chapter 1 is going to say for project 1A, Managing Images with Adobe Bridge, complete the instructions below and take a screenshot for each of your results. So what you're going to do, if you've done everything in the textbook, all your work will be done. Then all you need to do is go into Bridge, and number 1 says, display all the wedding images that have a rating of 3 stars or better. So you'll set up Bridge to show you just those results, and then to prove that you did it and know how to do it, you will take a screenshot of your entire screen, all the way from the left to the right, top to bottom of the Bridge application. And that's what you'll be submitting for homework. Don't panic if this sounds like something you don't understand. I will walk you through all of it very soon. So we are first going to practice using these pictures found in the Pics for Bridge that you downloaded. So let's get ready and do that.